Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Moonlight Black Spring with Autumn. This is just, seems like you guys had an appetite to talk on that test stream. So I just thought, well, why not? I used to do some sporadic live streams. So at least on this one, I know that it works. So if you're out there and you'd like to come in, appreciate you guys. Let's see what else, what do we have here? I'm sure we've got tons of things going on, which of course we've got things going on for tomorrow. He's back. Thank you so much, Chrysler Imperial, for coming in. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Looks like you guys are up for a little chit chat, just for a little while, just for a little bit. It's always fun. It never hurts anyone. No way. Shout out to CLC. You know what? I'm going to be honest, CLC. This is just a casual stream, but I think that the mainstream media is starting to. I think the mainstream media realizes that that we YouTubers are, we might not be card-carrying journalists from liberal USA university, but we're effective. We tend to break stories, quicker than they do. So I think the suppression is real. I said all that to say that I think that the suppression efforts are revving up. So I think maybe that's why it didn't show that other stream that I just finished. That was a test, and I'm not sure if that affected everything, but glad you guys could come out. It was actually 22 minutes, 27 minutes. Hi, Crazy Chiquita. How are you? So, of course, there'll be the show tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And so this is just kind of a casual stream. I mean, of course, I could, maybe dig through a couple of things. And of course, there's plenty of debauchery out here, In fact, I do believe that I was telling Chrysler and CLC or Sandy K in the previous stream that I do believe that, of course, they are going to ridicule the couple from St. Louis, I believe, that stood up for themselves when BLM came into their hood, if you will. And they were like, look, you're not taking anything from here. We're taking no prisoners around here. So I thought they were, they were defending themselves. They were defending their own, and they were defending their property. I mean, at the rate that we're going, we got police, we got the blue flu happening. We've got defund the police calls everywhere. What are you going to do? It was, I think I was telling Chrysler or I was telling CLC, I think it was, this was Eat the Rich weekend or something? Every weekend, they're getting a little bit more rabid. Like rabid. So, if you find yourself in a tough situation, what are you going to do? Are you going to pretend like nothing's happening and you're going to pretend like you don't need to protect yourself? Yeah, it's really, Crazy Chick Sheena, I really don't know. I really don't know what the what the resolve is. I mean, I think is it, I mean, maybe it's gang related. Those relations are not the best. I mean, Compton, they call Compton Bompton, I believe. I honestly think that, because I think, was it last week? At the end of last week, they attacked was it BLM? I believe. CLC says, I will not only protect myself, I'll protect my neighbors. I won't pacify these lunatics. I don't blame you, my friend. I don't blame you, sister. You got to do what you got to do, because I said earlier, criminals don't ask you for permission. They're just coming in. They're coming in. When they come to your house, they're not asking you for anything. They're coming to take. And yeah, I mean, and I can imagine the mainstream media would criticize those people because they were exercising their Second Amendment rights. And I do believe that's the next thing on the target. They've got these extreme gun laws that I discussed earlier today. Was it the HR 5717? So they're really going to make it more difficult for you to exercise those rights. So, of course, but I think that's that's the only thing they're going to understand. And I think they scattered like bugs as soon as they saw those people armed to the T. So I don't know. I'm not sure who the couple is, but I tell you one thing. If I were that couple, I would certainly, they might need to hire some private security just to continue their everyday life, because I would imagine that with what we have going on right now, you're going to be targeted. I think you could even be targeted even more you'll be targeted even more when you decide to stand up for yourself and fight back. So if they don't hire anybody, they probably just want to watch their backs individually, so that when they go out into public, that they don't run into, because I really believe these people are, I think a lot of these people are mentally unstable. And I don't know, one day we'll get into, maybe tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, another day, we'll take a look at the book, Liberalism is a Disease. And shout out to CLC. She says, I will not only protect myself. Oh, I think I got that one. She says, they are really trying to slide in some laws while we are having riots and pandemic. Absolutely, CLC. In Florida, yes, they are. The gun laws, the 5717 that we went over today. In fact, you can see there's also a rise in the LGBTQ. They have kind of struck up the band again. And what was it, the decision with the Supreme Court on their rights, their new government rights. Hi, Brett's channel. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I hate to do housekeeping so much, but if you guys could hit the like button. This was just kind of a casual. This is super casual. I started out on the on a new stream, and I decided to let the, you guys seem to have some appetite for talking, so I figured, why not? But I will give, some heads up as to when I will stream again after hours. I think I'll try to put that in for this week. Let's see. Hi, Brett. Let's see. I'm not sure if we're going to do that on this stream, but maybe on the next one. I don't mind giving you, of course, a shout out. Everybody should get to know each other in here for sure. But on this stream, this is just really casual. We're just kind of talking amongst each other, and we don't really have an agenda. So I don't know. We're just kind of chatting right now. But yeah, if you guys get to know Britt's channel, Brett's a great supporter of the channel, and get to know him. You guys get to know each other in here. If you're just now coming in, if you'll hit the like or the unlike button or the subscribe or unsubscribe, make sure you're still subscribed. I think I left that out today. So yeah, so yeah, so we might do some of that on another stream, Brett. Maybe like the next night stream I do, we'll probably do some of that. But yeah, we're just kind of talking about what's going on, just kind of a reflection on the day. Yeah, I'm not a caterer of that. I don't do any of that either. I think everybody's, see, this is the thing. There's a whole HR5 out there just for them. Okay. Okay, Brett says he'll be doing some lottery tickets. So if you guys want to check out Brett's channel, I'm sorry, Brett. If you want to check out Brett's channel tomorrow, check out Brett's channel. He's doing some lottery tickets tomorrow, so check him out. Appreciate that, Brett. Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you to everybody for coming in, CLC in Florida. But yes, I'm not a caterer of that community. If we're all equal under the eyes of the law, and whether you're spiritual or not, if you're equal under the eyes of God or whoever your God is, then I'm not going to coddle anybody. You don't need me to give you a bless. I'm not going to bless anything that's just not, I'm not going to put that in as a blessing. I mean, I think this is just more division. It's just more division. And to me, it's almost, at first, that whole community, they came out, oh, well, we just want to be able to do this. And as you can see, there's still this faction of they can never have enough. It's all these affirmations, this affirmation legislation. That HR5 includes making it legal for men to go into women's restrooms. I mean, women's locker rooms, you name it. And it also, of course, and who else is at risk? That also opens you up to something else. With all this confusion going on, you're just opening yourself up to deceptions, scams and deceptions. So, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want, if I had a daughter, I certainly, I mean, for people that have kids, I really feel bad. I really feel bad for them. Shout out to Keith the Faith. He says, guess who's back? Guess who's back? Hey, every now and then you got to do it. Keith the Faith, I appreciate you for coming back. But yeah, seriously, I do think that, this country, we're pretty soon, we're going to be opened up to what's pedophilia next? Is that what we're doing? I don't think so. They've had horrible situations, horrible beatings, and when with these girls trying to compete with somebody that just naturally has more strength. Oh, well, no, they're taking hormones. And I'm like, I guess that's why, they're beating other women within an inch of their life, is because, it's just such a twisted deception. Pervert everything to, I would agree. Yeah, Obama, he brought a lot of that. He opened the door for, and it's just amazing to me how many people were enchanted, if you will, by You know, I mean, looking back at it, I mean, I've said before, I voted for him 2 times, and it wasn't because of it wasn't a skin color vote. It seemed like a good idea, but this hypersexuality agenda that they have for the kids. In California, for instance, I know that there was a bill in which they've added a lot of sexuality to the kindergarten kids have lessons on, they're going to learn about masturbation being pleasurable in kindergarten. So I'm just thinking, anybody, I would have to homeschool my kids if I had any. Even my nephew, I'm like, okay, no, we'll get your schooling together. No thanks. And then people say, oh, well, they won't be socially acclimated, and you'll have a lifetime of social life, and you're going to get most of that at recess. So why not just sign you up for some type of intramural sports or some type of sports club, and then you can socialize with the kids and do your arts crafts and your sports activities. I hear you, crazy chick Sheena. Right on. Good for you. I just wouldn't. No. Thank you. No. The answer is most definitely no. These things are not acceptable. And yeah, people are not standing up. They are not standing up. And I think this stuff is wicked. And I don't mean to sound like an archaic uh, an archaic person, but this is like of the world kind of stuff. Like I used to not believe in evil or dark, but there's definitely a darkness. There is a darkness. I don't know. I put out a video. I'm going to put this video up just for kicks because we're all here. And I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I'm going to bring you guys the clip from the abortion bills. Like, these people are craving death. It's almost like vampire. They crave death. This was in Tennessee. The governor. Let me not give up the ghost on this one. Give me just a second. So we had it's basically, it ended up with some desecration, which is, it's give me just 1 second here. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I'm winging this. But I will be back with tomorrow's show. I really appreciate you guys for coming in. And I'll probably be adding some more night streams in. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go into I'll find it really quickly. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in and for your patience. Thank you for those of you who were enduring the test. I usually do a Moonlight series, moonlighting. I mean, I think we all do a little bit of moonlighting. My background in the arts, I've done quite a bit of moonlighting. I mean, doctors do moonlighting. Of course, they make more. Well, they used to make a lot more money. And yeah, so just hang on 2 shakes and actually, let me open this one up real quick. So you guys hang tight. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this with you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to share my screen with you. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Shout out to Spirit of Liberty. I didn't know you came in. You snuck in here like that. Paul Harvey. No. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it. But I do think there's some wickedness going on. Like there's some darkness that there's you know it makes sense. If you have darkness and dark and light. I don't think you can have one without the other. So I will certainly look 1965 if I were the devil. Okay. I will certainly look it up. Hang on just 1 second. So I'm going to bring you guys that clip now. I want you guys to tell me if this is like sorcery to me. All right. So hang on, I'm going to put this in the stream and then I'm going to share it out. You know what? I'm starting to notice also some of these stories, if you want them, you have to pretty much grab them up because I think they're starting to double back on, I think they're starting to double back on these stories. So if you want something, if you see something out there, you might want to grab it up because they are getting rid of it. Like, yeah, this is like, a lot of these things we've seen these things happen in Germany, in Nazi Germany. We've seen some form of it, and we're even seeing. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to share this with you guys. Shout out to everybody that made it into the stream. Okay, so I have it right here. Oops. All right, so I'm going to play it. All right, because this country. All right, so here I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to Sandy K. All right, so here we go. Now, this looks like some sorcery to me. Call me crazy. I don't know, but what are we calling to the four witches of the East? Or not the four witches of the East. Are we calling to the women of all corners?
Comes creation. Let us look up a new world from these ashes. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? No. What do we want? 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 And when do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now that was a clip in response to Tennessee passing their own heartbeat bill. Does that sound like a little bit of sorcery to you? I mean, they're dressed up in the handmaid's tale, paraphernalia, and they're doing black magic because they can't sacrifice any more babies. Or yeah, I mean that bill is pretty gutsy. I mean, I tell you what their fear is that Roe v. Wade being overturned. Let's see what is happening here. I'm a little bit frozen. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Yeah, it's pretty gross, right? It's yeah, because America is not just unless you can kill babies, right? Is that how this works? Uh, Spirit of Liberty, 1775. How are you doing? She says, I wish political conservatives would stop playing nice and call the abortion debate what it is, pro-life versus pro-death. Absolutely. Yeah, but that's the remarkable letdown is that why do we have so many leaders and so many congresswomen and men that are silent on all the things that are going on? And then when Trump says something about it, it's all, oh, he's so horrible. Yeah, he's just a horrible man. He wants law and order. If he wants law and order, we're going to be against it. Or if he wants to be pro-life, we're not going to say anything. I'm hanging around, Spirit of Liberty. I appreciate you. Crazy Chick Sheena says, they're Tennessee witches. Easter starts. I used to be a sisterhood witch because I come to myself again. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. You'll have to, I'm not sure I understand, Crazy Chick Sheena, but I think I understand. Sandy K says, I don't believe in abortion, just me saying. Spirit of Liberty says 1775. I'm good, by the way. Thanks for asking. Hi. Shout out to you, the definition of anarchy. Just having a little casual stream here. Shout out to Crazy Chick Sheena, CLC in Florida. Well, it's just, they're not going to call anything out. Is what they're not going to do. And that's the part that gets to be, that's why I can see what people have turned off from politics, and they've turned off, the government. No one, I think that the trust in the government is really down right now. I think a lot, from what I can tell, a lot of people are even, I think some people are already feeling some level of defeat, which I don't know. I don't have the answers. I mean, I just think we have too many people. We have too much government. We've got too many silent people. Too many rhinos. Too many bad actors. Too many infiltrators. I don't know. Touchdown, Sean. I am. I'm. I've been doing technical troubleshooting like most of the day, it seems. So I need to catch up. I will certainly catch up. I will certainly do it, Sandy K. I will certainly do it. But and I'll get into some of this stuff tomorrow. This was just a little sporadic coming in. And normally I will do an early, it'll be earlier that I'll do a stream tomorrow. Just FYI, if I do one tomorrow night, but the regular schedule at 10 PST tomorrow. But I really don't know. It's Touchdown Sean says, can you believe Minnesota has abolished its police force as well? The city's going to pay for its foolishness. Oh yeah. Without a doubt. They're already paying. Look, they've taken the taxpayers' money and getting their own security. And they says, oh, well, it's because we're getting death threats. Yeah. Yeah. Death threats. And see, that's probably, I mean, who knows what they're doing with that money. Oh, CLC, I appreciate that so much. But yeah, I'm going to get into some things tomorrow. It's just it's very dark time. It's dark. There's more darkness than, and what, July 4th is around the corner. I would certainly suggest, for me, I would, well, I'm not going out a lot anyway, but I do what I need to do. But July 4th, I think, because we've got so many factions of domestic terrorism going on, I just think that that's going to be, it's going to be soft targets on July 4th. And, I've got my feelings about that. With Because I think so many people, you've got a huge faction of people that show that they hate America. So, do you think they're going to be, because you got a certain faction of people that are going to end up burning people's flags. So, it's just bizarre. Bizarre. You read some of these comments here. Shout out to Killer Whale Channels. Killer Whale Channels, how are you doing? Sean says, you think it's private? Yeah, they've yeah, it's amazing what they would spend your tax money on. Throw you to the wolves, and well, there's a everybody is not helpless. You have people that do own guns and they will protect themselves, but we do have a huge baby boomer community they don't have that. And some of them are they're vulnerable. They are. So, yeah, unless they're in a nursing home, and even nursing homes, I'm not sure how safe those are. But I don't know. I guess everybody needs to arm up. Is all you can do. Or as my friends say, stay locked and loaded. Yeah, but that's many parts of the country, that's just what you do. You're locked and loaded all the time. There is no such thing as, oh, well, I don't have this or that. That's just no, like, it's just in the South, it's just not like that. So, but we did talk about the 5717, the gun laws. Let's see, I'm going to read a couple of these. Crazy Chick Sheena says, and guess what? Chicago has police and still dangerous, so no cops in Minneapolis. A touchdown Sean says, I think I'm going to stay at home because I know it's going to be crazy where I'm from. Well, you got to do, you got to protect yourself. Yeah, but I think some places I know are shutting down again. They're shutting down bars and these kinds of places. Spirit of Liberty says, shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Let me go through and do one of those. Shout out to CLC in Florida. CLC says, wear your Kevlar outfits on the 4th. Oh, fun. Crazy Chick Sheena says they are censorship conservative media. Oh, Crazy Chick Sheena, I didn't know you were in Boston. Boston, Mass will never disband our police. I haven't been to Boston in probably 9 months or a year by now. Probably a year. Let's see. Sandy K, shout out to you. Shout out to Touchdown Sean. So nice to see you. Shout out to Killer Whale Channels, Patrick Jane Forums, Theology Forums. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for all that you do. If you guys are looking for great content creators, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of shout outs just for that. Just for Killer Whale Channels, Derek C. Williams, The Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, Sandy K, and the Angel Munez Variety Show. Check those guys out. Check each other out. You may find a kindred spirit in this group. You'll be well received. Shout out to Spirit of Liberty 1775. It's always nice to have you here. It's nice to have everybody in the stream. But I'm probably going to go maybe another 5 minutes and I'll wrap this one up because we'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So if you guys are, this is 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That brings you in at 12 o'clock on the Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock on the Eastern Standard Time. And I mean, there'll be tons tomorrow. And also there will be a poll coming up. We have some opportunities to do some actual training on the channel. So I would like to know what's important to you guys. I mean, I don't know if your kids are going back to school this fall, if you're sending them back. I mean, I don't know what's on the docket in your area. What are your concerns? Is it drag queen story time? I don't know, but we're going to deal with some tactics and some engagement. Try to do some solutions coming to the channel. So shout out to you, crazy chick Sheena. Thank you so much for that. Old Head Deuce, nice to see you. Keith the Faith. Keith says that poor couple needs some serious training. She should have had her pistol at low ready position and his rifle, but wasn't in the pocket of his shoulder. She was pointing and flagging everything. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's funny you say that because I will say this. I would think that it would be important that we have gun education. You know, I mean, I think that but there again, I think things are designed to keep the masses and the people, the sheeple dumbed down and keep everybody in fear because you can control them that way. They don't understand. You don't understand your rights. You don't know your rights. You can't defend your rights. You can't do any of that without you can't do any of that without the framework or the training. I mean, training days, I think, So if some of you don't have a problem with it at all, I mean, some of you are probably, great marksmen. Some people are not, they're not, they've not been around guns. And shout out to you. Let's see. Did you discuss Trump's charges? No. I've been under a mound of technical problems today, including internet problems. This afternoon, like literally up until 6 or 7, and then I had to take a break, and I needed to do some work, and I can't even do my work because of the technical things. No, but now when you say Trump's charges, are they coming from the Democrats on the COVID response, or is this an international type of charge? I am just, today I've been kind of fried and out of the loop. Keep the faces, and they say shouldn't have gone outside. They should have stayed in some cover. This is CLC said when I was in grade school, they had classes for rifle shooting and safety. You see CLC in Florida. I think they used to have some level of civics, but I think around the 1960s is when I think we had a lot of people that made a lot of big moves, a lot of big communist moves, including taking over the schools, the Frankfurt schools. I've done videos on that. But this whole cultural Marxism thing, you've got, you got feminism, transgenderism, you've got all these liberation theories, all these critical theories, you have people that don't believe in truth. They don't believe in Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, what is it? 52 genders is what they want you to submit to right about now. Let's see. See, shout out to Old Head Dude says Iran charged Trump for war crimes and went to Interpol. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, I'm not surprised because if you guys think back to last year when Soleimani was basically taken out and the embassy was under attack, which the Democrats wanted another Benghazi. They all ran to the defense of Soleimani, even though he had killed tons of people. And yeah, and the embassy was under attack. So yeah, I'm not surprised because they started saying the Democrats were saying that last year, war crimes, war crimes, war crimes, war crimes. So it's a cabal. It's a cabal. It's a global mob, global cabal. You name it. I think that we have. I think we've conceded too much as citizens. I really don't. Yeah, okay. See, Crazy Chikshina, you're bringing some interesting points because honestly, I don't know that international law. They are. The UN and all these people break international law. You know, that whole situation at our border. They've broken a lot of international law. They want the refugee status and all these things. I mean, seriously. I mean, and I know the argument came up. Oh, they wanted to crush Trump's power to be able to declare or even move on Iran back then. That of course the Democrats came up with a toothless resolution last fall. Okay, that I feel like I'm going down memory lane or something right now, but because of course according to the Constitution, of course Congress is the body that has the power to declare war. But there's another document out there that was created by Clinton, and I think they pulled it. I think what was it? Paul Ryan might have pulled that document because Nancy and the Democrats were looking for it like 90 going north, looking for it like crazy. So I think there's a treaty out there. There's a treaty. Maybe it was a 91 treaty or something. Like you guys are taking me down memory lane. But this international law stuff, I mean, they want to get in. Do they really want to go down that road with all the crimes against humanity? I don't want to speak too much on this situation because I have not, but I am. But enough happened last year. There was enough. There's enough. The history, from last year. Let's see. Crazy Chick says their warrant is like a warrant they take out on dictators. That's not good. And Iran governments are liars. Yeah, they're certainly not to be trusted. I'm not sure. It's a coup. It's a global coup against Trump. And you've got people in our government that are up to their knees in it as well. they've infiltrated. I mean, because I remember, oh well, he should apologize, and it's just, oh my gosh, So this is, like I said, this is pretty much I think this is just, it's a deflection. I think it's a huge deflection, but I'm not saying that there's nothing for Trump to be concerned with, but at the same time, these people play by their own rules, you know, and yeah, we've got rhinos, we've got neocons, we've even got them on the judicial level, you know, we've got them at we've got them on every level. There's a couple of these rhinos. I mean, they've already revealed themselves. You know, yeah, because there was a resolution for to curtail Trump's powers with Iran, but there's also a treaty out there. I want to say it was 91, a 91 treaty. It was a Clinton's treaty, I believe. And they were searching for it like crazy. The Democrats, Pelosi. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? But you know what? We're not giving Iran pallets of cash like Obama, right? Is that what that it? Their economy was a little toasted too, right? In the tank. So we're not flying in pallets of cash. See, this is what I think, this is more or less what this is about. These people, they want to, if they can't get the U.S. on the climate, all the climate change, all the climate crises, the climate faith has all been squelched. You're not hearing that anymore. But now they're onto the equality part of the coup, and so they figure they can extort money. They can extort money in another way. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I mean, we're out of the Paris Climate Agreement, and most of the world was pissed about that. Excuse my language. They called Trump names from A to Z. What was it? The Madrid the climate summit. He's not getting rid of fossil fuels, and he's destroying the earth, and but all of that would suppress our economy. And then all these fraudulent, foreign aid tours, the foreign aid, and they're basically, I think these Democrats have been just lining their pockets with that money and giving it to their special interest and to their global NGOs, and they've just been doing whatever they want to do with America's tax money. No subsidizing the whole world on the back of the American economy. Now, there's one thing about Trump, he's been talking the same way for years. I had I'm going to pull that one up for you guys before we close this one out. Shout out to everybody in the stream. So I'm going to play this one for you guys. And so one thing about it, it's consistent. He's consistent on this. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. Just a second. Give me one shake. One shake.
You took out a full page ad and.
All right, I'm going to show you this. Taking you back to a time with big hair. All right, so here we go. This is from 1988. You know, far cry from where we are now, but some things don't change. Some things remain the same. Oops. All right, guys.
Major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me. And I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you think of this year's presidential race, the way it's shaping up?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think that probably George Bush has an advantage in terms of the election. I think that probably people would say that he's got like that little edge in terms of the incumbency, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Jesse Jackson's done himself very proud. I think Michael Dukakis has done one hell of a job. And George Bush has done a hell of a job. You know, they all went in there sort of as semi-underdogs, including George Bush, and they've all come out. I think people that are around all three of those candidates can be very proud of the jobs they've done.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing. This country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
Isn't that generous from Oprah, right? Most generous, right? But yeah, so I can see, you know, sound familiar? You know, it's just, yeah, pretty familiar. Let's see. Spirit of Liberty says Trump 2020 and beyond. The CLC says, isn't it funny how Oprah and all of Hollywood loved Trump until he ran for president? But knowing their secrets and corruption levels, he scares the hell out of all of them. Let's see. Time traveling tonight. Yes, yes, yes. Cold War Jesus. Yes, yes, yes. We're time traveling. Time traveling we are. I appreciate you guys for coming in, and thank you guys so much for hitting the like button. But you know, it just, you know what, you know, we'd have to give you a little classic Oprah to round out the stream with. And thank you guys so much. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream. So we're going to wrap up in 5 minutes. I said that a long time ago, but we're going to wrap it up in 5 minutes. And I will be putting a poll out for the training that we're going to be doing. And, you know, if you guys give me the feedback, you know, I can try to put some things together, you know, put some things together with you in mind. I have ideas, but there's a lot of issues out here. You know, I don't know everybody's city, or I think we've been a little bit too active, too inactive for too long, and we've tolerated too much ignorance from the people that are supposed to be representing us, which I don't think they're representing us. They're misrepresenting us. And all these other little groups that have come along, the BLMs, the Antifas, the, what is it, BAM, and there's a lot more groups out there. But I really appreciate you guys coming in, and thanks so much for tuning into the test segment over on the other platform. So hopefully I can get that one going. I appreciate it. So look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And that is there's already a posting, and I think you can hit the reminder if you go on, and if you go on to the page, I think there's a way you can hit the reminder button. Yeah, but I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Keith the Faith. CLC, I appreciate you so much. But yeah, we'll dig into some more things. Also, if we can just get to, I don't know who's running in your guys' area, we'll go through some constitutional voting records, soon. I never go through. It's just so many congressmen and so many congresswomen. But I can help you guys find it, and you can find out, when these people are when they vote globalist and they don't vote, and they vote outside of their oath of office, is what they tend to do. You've got Nancy Pelosi with like an 18% out of 100. I call me crazy, but if I made an 18, I know that's not passing. It's like, who do you work for? I've seen, so I think I've seen some single digit voting records on these from the Senate and the House. Yeah, pretty gross. Yeah, they willing to turn over power to just about anybody for where they think they're going to rank high. They think they're going to be profitable in this whole new world paradigm. But we'll see how it plays out. I think November is going to be, if we can just get to November, it just seems so far away. I think we'll see how it plays out for them. This is Crazy Chick Sheena. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. Crazy Chick Sheena says, you see Hillary being quiet, not good. She's up to something. Cold War Jesus. That's a great question. Great show. What's happening in the schools? Well, to be honest, I haven't been in the public schools in about 7 years. The colleges are pretty much indoctrination camps. What is it? I just, what was it? Common Core and some of those other things. They are really dumbing the kids down, and I think it's on purpose, because if you're dumbed down, you can't push back. You can't. You don't have the framework to push back. Or yes, and they're teaching these kids to keep the faces. They're teaching hatred of America in schools. They're also teaching 52 genders, and they're also teaching kindergarten kids about masturbation. And that's, at least it's already hit the California schools. It's already, your principal doesn't even have to tell you what they're doing. And they're having drag queen story time, not only at your public library, but sometimes they're having them at your school, your kid's school. It's the UN Agenda 2030. They want everybody under their thumb, and you doing what you're told. You get your little provision, your socialism provision, and you go on about your way. Yeah, I think what is the latest thing that I heard that you can't teach kids to sound to associate sounds with letters anymore, something like that. And I think they are doing the teachers are doing gay like some type of LGBTQ training as well. You know, they're doing a lot. It's not good. It's really bad. Um, I will tell you, even my adjunct students were very entitled, and they were all consumed with some type of social justice. They were all consumed with that. It's like, my gosh, are all the teachers activists? Are they? Are there any real teachers out there? Is there anybody out that just wants to teach mathematics or just wants to teach history or like teach real history, not propaganda history, or not leave out an entire chunk? Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to grab the movie Uncle Tom. If you get a chance, it's uncletom.com. I think it's 20% off. Maybe you've got, you guys are familiar with Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Carol Swain from Vanderbilt University. It's a majority black conservative cast-ish. Um, that is a great, it's a great documentary. Um, yeah, that's, kind of a popular, epithet to throw at people that are not, I'll tell you flat out, I think there's a lot of, it's just just old. There's nothing contrived about what's going on. Nothing new under the sun. Jealousy and envy is alive and well. Yes, Larry Elder is in that movie as well. Yes. Um, Jealousy and envy, and with so many black people that are that are voting or have conservative values. I think it's I would hope people are doing whatever they're doing for the right reasons, but it's not a club. I wouldn't think of being associated with any party as a club or you know what are your individual values. It's not about my skin color. But the minute you assign some type of identity to it, it's tainted. And vote your values. If you don't know what they are, go, hang around some people with some values. You maybe gain some perspective. Clean your room. You know. So I just it's not a group think. It's not a club. It's not, oh, we're into the country club now. It's I yeah, but why did I go there? But yeah, you definitely want to check out that movie. Um, I think there's parts of history that have been, the liberals, they're writing the history books. If they can get Merriam-Webster to change, to change something because an activist professor, of course they choose the books. They choose the books that your kids read. They choose the type of teachers that go out into your schools to teach your kids. They write the books. They're producing the teachers. It's a mill. It's a think reform mill that's happening in these schools. And like I said, I did do a video on the Frankfurt schools, and it seems like some of the most pivotal things that happened that laid the groundwork for what we're seeing right now in the 60s. And you can go into your civil rights, your Voting Rights Act, whether the manipulation there. You can go into your Frankfurt schools. You got all these liberation theories, all these critical theories. They deconstruct everything. It's like, it's You just pervert everything to confusion and you end up with deception. It's kind of easy. It's kind of easy to see. The more confusion you add, the more vulnerable you are. Something else can sneak in when you're confused. So yeah, she says crazy chick. Sheena says, yeah, now Sesame Street. Yeah, Sesame Street. Yeah, you really want Sesame Street to teach your kids about. Yeah, I can't do Sesame Street. I appreciated the Cookie Monster. You know, I had a jacket that had Cookie Monster on it. Yeah, but you know, I don't even think, you know, they teach kids to look for disparities or look for change. We want change. We want change. Elmo on CNN talking about race. Oh my gosh. Poor Elmo. Ay, ay, ay. Before they know it, before you know it, they'll pit somebody against Elmo. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. I really appreciate everything. And so one more comment from CLC. She says parents are whipping now and have allowed this. If everyone, or at least the majority of the parents, keep their kids out, they would have canceled that agenda. But it was only a few of us that did it. Yeah, well, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna put this poll out and see what you guys think. You know, I don't know if they're doing, you know, I don't know what they're doing in your guys' area, but I know what they're doing in my area, and I don't even have any kids. You know, I've had people ask me to go to meetings because they don't have enough parents going to the meetings. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting, and everybody's busy. Okay, we get it. We get it. Everybody's busy, right? Keith the Face says you got 30th place. Here's your trophy. The crowd goes. Right. So one last shout out. Shout out to CLC in Florida. Shout out to Keith the Faith. Shout out to Crazy Chick Sheena. Shout out to, hold on a second, guys. You guys are making me laugh here. Let's see. Shout out to everybody that came in earlier. As I started out on another a test segment on this show. So I appreciate you guys. Let me finish up my shout outs and then I'm gonna call it a lundi. Okay. All right. So Keith faces no kids for me either. Maybe if I have met an autumn type girl. Well, you know, life is funny, you know, and it goes by fast. I know what that means now. Let's see. Shout out to Keith the Faith. Thank you so much for coming in. And shout out to CLC. Shout out to Keith the Faith. Shout out to Cold War Jesus. Shout out to CLC in Florida. Shout out to Spirit of Liberty. Thank you so much for coming in. Let's see. Shout out to Old Head Deuce. Shout out to, I don't miss anybody. Killer Whale Channels. Patrick Jane Forums. Theology Forums. Thanks so much. Shout out to Old Head Deuce. Snapzilla Gorilla. Definition of Anarchy. Shout out to you. Shout out to Touchdown Sean. Thank you so much for coming in, Touchdown Sean. Shout out to Sandy K. Some people I haven't seen in a while. Let's see. You guys are night crawlers. Spirit of Liberty. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys spending your time here, spending your spending your nights, your late nights around here for some of you. I really appreciate you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys around tomorrow. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. And appreciate you guys for coming in, hitting the like button, and being a part of the community, because you guys are the community if no one told you. And see you guys tomorrow. It's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And have a great night, guys.